All right, so we are live on YouTube, and I'm about to go live on TikTok in three, two, one. All right, we are. All right, we're live on both now. And so, did you want to bring people up today?
Yeah, if we have time, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what's up, guys? David Lugo again with Andrew Morgan. We're gonna review Thursday night football. I don't think none of us watched too much of the game, but I know it was a good game. I'll go ahead and pull up the stats already because
Yeah, I know. We didn't really talk about pick who we picked, but did you have Tampa Bay winning that game?
I did. I
Yeah,
did.
I did too. I did too.
Me and my uncle were talking about that. He chose the Falcons. I chose Tampa Bay. He actually has the Falcons way in the South too, so he's real big. He's real big on the Falcons. But yeah, guys, we're gonna recap Thursday night football, and then also game picks for Week 5, and then a little bit of Packer talk at the end. So, yeah, 36-30.
Yeah, 36-30.
Baker Mayfield, 19 for 24, 180 yards, three touchdowns. Kirk Cousins, 42 for 58, 509 yards.
500. Yeah, I was just looking at that. 4 touchdowns, 1 interception.
And that one interception, he should have had zero, but it was kind of it was in desperate times to the point where when he threw it, I'm still shocked that they still got the ball back and tied it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where Bijan Robinson only 12 carries. Like I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know, but he hasn't really been looking good either on his. I mean, I know he was what
12 carries.
5.1, his 5.1 average.
That's good, Andrew.
That's good. I just don't. But 61 yards on
Well,
12
he
carries.
didn't have 12 carries though. That's the thing. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. To me, I don't know. He just hasn't looked right. I don't know if it's him, it's the offense. I don't know. He just hasn't looked right to me. Now, I'm saying this because I do have him on my fantasy football team, and he was like one of my first picks. So, kind of, he's not doing fantasy wise, but I know we're not going to get into fantasy talk, but it just hasn't looked good. The games I have watched them, I don't, or he or slash the run game per se.
so you think he took a step back, or I mean, because I just don't see how he only. I mean, let me look at the box score because
I mean, they did throw it 58 times, or 59 if you count.
I'm looking at the box score. There was never really a time where Atlanta had to reject the run because they were down big. Like they were.
Yeah,
Never,
it was a back and forth game almost, right? Like it was kind of like
yeah,
one team would score, the other team would score. It was kind of like one of those back and forth games. So it's like
it definitely was a game where Kirk Cousins did not have to throw 58 times. I'm
that's
very
wild.
sure of that. Yeah, that's wild, man. That's almost 60 times. God damn. Do you know Kirk Cousins? I read a stat. He was the only person to throw 250 yards in the first.
Four different teams or something like that.
Well, no, I supposedly no one has done that in the Super Bowl era. That no one has thrown for 250 yards in the first half and 250 yards in the second half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. That I mean, Kirk. What do you think about Kirk, dude? The guy can still play, man.
I don't know. I've always been like I thought Kurt was a good quarterback, but he wasn't like he was to me. He was always in the tier maybe underneath like those. You got your elite quarterbacks and you got your good quarterbacks. I think he always teetered for me in the average to good quarterback tiers in that range. He'll have games where he looks amazing, and then he'll have games where he looks god awful. I don't know. I don't know. And I've said this probably past 2 or 3 years of Kirk. Like I don't know what he's going to be next year or the year, and then he comes in and he does pretty well. So I like I said, I'm always the one that's like, dang, Kirk can't play no more, and then he comes in and does well. And so I'm like, at this point, I'm like, until he doesn't do it anymore, then I'm not going to say that thing anymore because he's like you said, he still can sling the rock.
Yeah. Hold up, Andrew. We got to guess. What's up, man? I don't know if he's still there. Oh no, he went offline. All right. Yeah. Well, me and my uncle talked. We touched on Kirk a little bit on Tuesday. my thing was he was never a quarterback that I could trust, but I always thought he was good. But like, I just never trusted him. I would still say I don't know if I can trust him, but I think he looks better in Atlanta than I think he looks better in Atlanta with the healing Achilles than in Minnesota healthy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he looks real good this year. I, I don't know. I mean, he beat the Eagles. He beat a very good Bucks team. I mean, he was home for both of those games, but I mean, yeah, man, I think Kirk looks good, and that Achilles has to be good if he's throwing 58 times. That's the way I see it too.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm looking at some of his stats right now from his games. 29, 240, 230.
you're talking about like all of his games.
Yeah, all the games this week. I'm just this year. I mean, the only game he didn't throw over 200 yards was week 1 against the Steelers. So,
Yeah, he was probably babysitting that Achilles too in week 1. You know,
yeah.
something he wanted to go all out, but
I mean, and his 2 losses. I mean, his 2 losses aren't bad losses. Now I'm looking at it. He lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which week 1, anything can happen week 1.
yeah, and they got a suffocating defense too, man.
Yeah, and then he lost to the Chiefs.
Yeah, and if you look at that Chiefs game, I would argue he kind of had
He had 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Yeah.
I think he almost had a better game than Mahomes.
Yeah.
I mean, Mahomes had 1 more touchdown, but aside from that, they're pretty much identical. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
I think he looks good.
He hasn't looked. I guess I don't know. I haven't really paid attention too much to Atlanta football this season. I guess the games I have watched him, he hasn't looked good, and those were the 2 games he lost. So.
Yeah, so Bucks 3-2, Falcons 3-2. Let's see. I don't know what the Saints are. Saints are 2.
Saints are 2-2.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, man, the NFC South is wide open. So I want to switch gears to Baker. I think Baker is proving that like he's not really a fluke, man. Like what happened last year. Like I think this is a guy who everyone written off, and I think he's definitely taking football a lot more serious now. He's definitely having more fun now. A lot of that might have to be with Tampa Bay because, I mean, he's been all over the place and didn't really fit anywhere. And now he's going to Tampa Bay and he's really starting to look like he was a number 1 pick, wasn't he? Or I know he was at least a first rounder. I don't know.
He was a first round pick. I don't know if he was number 1 overall pick. He was a first round pick.
But I mean, yeah, I'm liking Baker, man. I like Baker.
No, he's playing good. He's playing good. We could argue Tampa Bay would have won this game if they
touched the ball.
That or then what's his name fumble the ball, which made Atlanta go kick the time field goal.
Yeah.
What's his name? Bucky Irvin. Then he fumbled. Then Atlanta had the ball. They drove down.
Yeah. Yeah, that I remember that, and
then they kicked the time field goal to send it to overtime.
Yeah.
I mean,
hold on, Andrew. What's up, man? Oh, okay. I think he said he didn't mean to join. Yeah, I think someone said in the comments that Baker was number 1 overall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm looking at Mayfield, 1924, 180, 3 touchdowns. Didn't turn the ball over, man.
Yeah, the 3. I mean, the yards is whatever, but the 3 touchdowns, no interceptions is what gets you. I mean, he has a 137 quarterback rating. I mean, that's what gets you, man. Like he's playing good. Yeah. I mean, he has the receivers, so
regular season 70. This is Baker's stats for the regular season so far: 71.9 completion percentage, 1,164 yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 picks, a rating of 112.2. His career ratings. So this season, completion percentage 71.9, career 62.5. His rating for his career is 89.4, and he has a rating of 112 right now. So that's not.
And just kind of continue just to kind of look at more his yard. He has over 1,100 yards, 3rd most in the NFL this season. He's tied for 1st with 11 touchdowns. Like you mentioned, 2 interceptions. He's tied for 30, so he's down below at the bottom, like doesn't turn the ball over. And then his QBR is 11th with 62.6. But The
Yeah.
guards third, tied for 11 touchdowns, and that's pretty good, man. This season.
Yeah, and the fact that he only had 180 yards and they still went into overtime while Kirk had 509 yards. I mean, if you just look at the quarterback stats alone, you would say, "Oh yeah, there's no way the Falcons lost that." But the fact is, they almost lost, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Kirk definitely had to work overtime to get that win, though. I don't think Baker had to work overtime to get that win. But
Yeah.
all right,
that South is pretty much open for business.
yeah,
You had Tampa Bay winning the South, right? And then what we discussed.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I think.
And I went out on a limb. I said the Saints, but we'll see. They have the Chiefs, I think, on Sunday night. So
yeah, I don't like that pick, the Saints. I don't like them. I would definitely have the Falcons if it's not the Bucks. I think I would roll with the Falcons before the Saints. Yeah, I don't know. I think Derek Carr is another Kirk Cousins. Like, I don't trust him fully. I think I would trust Kirk over Derek Carr.
Hey, man, they might get Devontae.
Nah, we'll see. Word on the street is he wants to go to the Jets, but he's open to go anywhere.
Yeah, and we were texting about that. I know I had mentioned the Saints, the Jets, and the. I remember the two teams I mentioned, but I said the Jets and somebody, and I was thinking, I was like, oh, the Saints, because Derek Carr is there, and he left Green Bay to go play with Derek Carr. Mm-hmm. So who knows? And then there was a report saying that he would be open to play with the Saints too. So that whole situation is crazy.
Yeah.
But
dude, I started laughing when he wanted out because I remember a whole bunch of people made fun of me because he was leaving Green Bay, and I was like, dude, just give us some time. He's gonna want out of Vegas too. You'll see.
Oh yeah.
Do you think the Raiders just aren't good, or do you think he's declining already?
I mean, the Raiders aren't good. They don't got a quarterback. I mean, if Minshew and Aiden O'Connell are your two quarterbacks that you got to choose from, that's not a good team. I mean, I can understand why he's pissed. Like, they have a pretty decent defense, I would say. It's just that offense can't score points, man.
I know, man. Yeah,
they can't score points, and they can't. I'm not even looking at his stats or their stats or anything right now, but I'm assuming they can't get him the ball. So, and then I feel like he's always has some type of injury now. I don't know if he's really injured or he's just like, hey, I don't want to practice with it. I don't know. One of those veteran moves.
Well, did you hear what the Raiders said? The Raiders said that they said that they would be open to trading him, but not while he's not playing. So like, I think he's out for this game. So they said they're not going to trade him. Like, they want him still practicing and participating in the games before they trade him.
Trade him.
Yeah, which I think is kind of smart from the Raiders because at this point, who knows if Devontae's like, oh, I'm just going to sit out till you trade me. But they're like, no, like, you're going to keep playing and then we'll trade you. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, definitely a lot of drama going down in Vegas. I think he does. I think he does get traded though. Maybe close to the deadline though, not right now because I think they were saying the closer they trade him to the deadline, financially it's better for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
So, but all right. Anything else you got on Thursday night?
Yeah, no, it was like I said. I unfortunately didn't watch the whole game. Woke up and watched the highlights, and I was like, "Dang, it seemed like it turned out to be a good game."
I love their kicker, man. I love the Falcons kicker, dude.
Yeah, even though he missed two, I was gonna text you like, "Hey, look, this dude missed two field goals back to back."
Yeah,
there was. I guess he got some leeway since he makes a majority of his kicks.
Yeah, and I think his game, dude, it was funny because his game winner was supposed to be a 47-yarder, and they got hit with a delay of game. And he's like, okay, back it up 5 yards. I'm still gonna do a 52-yarder, dude. I was like, man, that's my boy. That's my Chino right there.
Yeah.
I was like, Young Ho Koo.
Yeah.
Okay, before we move on from Thursday Night Football, dude, there's a video. I don't know if you've seen it. I'll send it to you if I gotta go find it though. There was a drive where the Bucks had the ball on the goal line, and the refs gave them 4 opportunities to get in the end zone. So like they ran first and goal, and then the very next play was first and goal again, and then second and goal, and then they scored on third. They scored on third and goal, but it should have been fourth down. I saw it and I was like, no way. Like there's no way they did that. And like they kind of like went to commercial too, and then came back and I guess they were trying to fool people. And then in the video, they're like, oh, I thought they would like fix it during the commercial break, but they never fixed it. And so like the Bucks ended up scoring on third and goal when it should have been fourth and goal. And I was like, dude, I noticed that too, man. Like, I don't know, man. What do you think about that?
That's
how does no one catch that?
Yeah, like how? I mean, even Atlanta didn't say anything.
No, that's what I'm saying.
If I was Atlanta's coach, I'm like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
And unless did the announcers? Because I didn't see this. Did the announcers say anything about it?
When I was watching it without sound, so I'm not sure. I'm not
because
sure.
The only thing I can think of is that they just had the wrong graphic up, and they still went for it on fourth down and still got it on fourth down.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was first down and goal like around the 4 or 5 though. It wasn't like fourth down and go on the 1 or 2.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that's the only thing. Like I said, because if Atlanta wasn't like what's going on, then it might have been just an error on the graphic part.
Yeah, that is a possibility. But now, there was one time where the coach from Atlanta was livid, and it was on the delay of game, on the game-winning field goal at the end. Like he was on the ref's ass. He's like, dude, what the hell? Delay a game. I don't know what he was saying because, like I said, I was watching it without sound. Yeah. But he was very upset at the delay of game for the field goal at the end. So I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it was a delay of game. I wasn't watching the clock, but yeah, he wasn't happy about that. But good for them. They still hit the field goal anyway. So
yeah. But if it was really did they get the extra chance, then hey, good on them. Huh?
If they got the extra chance, then that says like they were in favor of the Bucks. But I mean, they lost anyway. So
I guess that too. But I still wouldn't have fault. Yes, you got to fault the refs, but Atlanta's got to be paying attention too. So if they weren't, like I said, if they weren't throwing a fit about anything, then they're not even paying attention. So what are they doing on their sideline?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. We got a guess, bro. Oops. What's up, Justin?
Yo, what's going on, David?
Can you hear?
So if you guys want a fucking week 5 lock, Seattle against Giants, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna move into game picks here right now. Do you want to go ahead and do that, Andrew?
Yeah, we can go to game picks.
Yeah, we were just recapping Thursday Night Football, and we're gonna get into game picks now.
Oh, dude, Thursday Night Football, I had Buccaneers. I ain't even gonna lie, they should have won that game, bro. If you watched it, bro, Buccaneers had the ball with 2 minutes left just to run the ball to give it right back, bro, disregarding the fumble, right?
Yeah.
Hold
on, let me. Who do you like again? Who's your team?
I'm from Seattle, dog.
Oh, you like Seattle?
I live in Seattle. Yeah.
Oh, so just to touch on Seattle a little bit. Hold on, Justin. Hey, Andrew, I just got a notification. The Green Bay Packers have suspended Dobbs.
Okay. We'll talk about him in a minute, a little bit.
1 game suspension.
We'll talk about him in a minute.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about him. Hey, Justin, did you want to get in on these game picks?
Hey, I want to get in on the game picks, but also if you look up passing yards for this season, Geno is number 2 under Kirk.
Yeah.
And people are trying to say that Geno is not a top 10 QB in the league right now.
No, Geno reminds me of another Baker Mayfield. Everyone wrote him off, and
thank you.
I think they both got better. Like Geno, especially Baker. Baker is taking football a lot more serious now. He's working on his craft. I think Geno.
Oh, yeah.
I think Geno is good too. I mean, the one thing about Seattle, they're always there at the end. Like whether they make the playoffs or not, I mean, they're still a team that like you got to worry about. Like I think the Packers play them later on in the year in Seattle, and even that game, I'm not writing off. Like I'm like, hey, it's gonna be in Seattle. It's gonna be a tough game. I mean, we'll see
Oh
who's.
yeah, we faced the Cheeseheads, bro, in Seattle. I forgot about that.
Yeah. No, man.
And Geno's a good quarter. I like Geno. I know you probably talked about games on Tuesday, David, but that Detroit Seattle game, man, that was a wild game. Wild Monday night game.
Yeah,
And,
but the only reason we lost is because we didn't have our defensive stars in, bro. All of our linebackers were out. We had all.
okay.
It's like
So that
teams don't beat you by like a touchdown and some, bro. They suck.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, I didn't know, I don't know too much about y'all's defense, but I was like, man, Seattle's defense is not good. But I didn't realize y'all didn't have some starters in. So
Yeah, we weren't good on defense just yet. Not that game.
You know, one thing. Yeah, one thing I shared on my last live, because I was dissecting like all the undefeated teams. Now at this time, Seattle was still undefeated, and I think there was like 3 or 5 teams left that were still undefeated. And I told on my last live, I said the number one thing that all of these undefeated teams have in common is they are very good defensively. That's the number one thing I said.
Vikings and Chiefs were up there.
Yeah.
Undefeated teams.
Yeah, and both of those teams are very good defensively. And then even Seattle, I thought was very good defensively, but then they gave up 40 plus to the Lions. But then here you are saying that all their stars were out. So I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't really know that unless you looked in the depth of the injury report before the game started.
Yeah.
Unless you kind of wouldn't really, unless you follow the Seattle Seahawks like me, you would know.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so week 5 picks, bro.
So I'll go through them. I'll go through them, and then you and Andrew can go back and forth. And then of course, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be very biased on the Packers game. I'm not picking against them, but even if I was, I would still have them beating the Rams. Just want to give you all a heads up on that. But
I got Packs on that.
All right, so I think this game is in London, Jets and Vikings.
it is a London game.
I want to take Darnold. I want to.
I think I'm gonna take Darnold.
Yeah, so I am picking the Vikings as well, but these London games, man, can go either way. I know the Jets have not looked the best. Like they played well against bad teams, and the good teams they haven't played that well against. I'm still picking the Vikings, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets beat the Vikings in London, because these London games kind of tend to go wild sometimes.
If Jets defense can't stop Darnold, though.
Yeah, no, for sure. The Jets defense has to step up.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers has to play like vintage Aaron Rodgers, because against the Broncos, he did not look good.
Yeah. One thing I'll say about the Jets last week against the Broncos when they lost 10-9, like that was everything. That's the reason why they got Aaron Rodgers. Their defense would do so good, but they were still losing low-scoring games because they had no quarterback. Then you bring in Aaron Rodgers, and he gives you the same exact thing that Zach Wilson would have given you. So that is very concerning if you're a Jets fan. And that's why I asked on my last live, was an Aaron Rodgers trade, was it even worth it, man? Like, I mean,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, man.
Worked out for us.
Well, for the Jets fans, it wasn't worth it. But yeah, so we're all riding with the Vikings on that one?
Yeah.
Bro, go look at Broncos and against Jets, bro. How do you lose that, dude?
I know. Bo Nix had 60 yards passing. 60.
I know.
Man.
Dumb, dude.
Yeah, I agree. If I was a Jets fan, I'd be livid. But Panthers versus Bears, Chicago's home.
Yep, I'm looking at it right now. Panthers against Bears. Bears are home. I want to take Caleb Williams, I'm with the hype. I want to take the home team,
I'm taking the Bears. I'm taking the Bears.
Fuck Andy Dalton.
You see, man, this one's tough for me. This one's tough.
I'm taking the Bears too, just because of their defense.
They do got a good defense.
Just because of their defense. I think Caleb Williams is still going to do good. I got the Bears.
It was a toss-up, but I think you got me with that Bears defense. I was about to pick Carolina, but I'll roll with the Bears too. I think their D will come through.
Yeah, you never know with NFL.
Yeah, but I think that is the one game I wouldn't be shocked if the Panthers go in there.
Oh yeah, me neither. Me neither.
Damn.
All right. Oh dang. All right. Next game. Ooh. Browns and Commanders. Washington's home.
Washington.
I got
Commanders.
Washington.
I want to take Washington not because of the record, because of the QB.
Yeah.
Dan Daniels is.
Yeah.
And he completing like 80% of his passes right in this season. It's crazy.
Jaden Daniels over rushing yards, I think yes. I don't know what it's sitting at, but
Yeah. And even here, the only team the Browns have beaten all year is the Jags, and the Jags have looked terrible too. So, yeah, give me Washington. So
thank you.
we're all riding Washington.
Yep.
All right. So far,
I'm not getting money on it.
okay. Honestly, I think this. If what was your lock of the week? Seattle and Giants.
Well, I don't know. I'm a Seattle fan, and I think Giants suck. So it's like an easy, like if you any amount should win you.
I for me personally, I think this next one is the lock of the week. Dolphins and Patriots. I got the Patriots. I think the Dolphins are just
I
terrible.
got Patriots too, but look at the money line, like negative 100 over a negative 300 that Seattle's gonna win over the negative 150 or negative 105. Like Dolphins and Patriots are both favored in this matchup.
Dolphins.
Like,
Oh
no one's
yeah.
underdogs.
I'll be
All
back.
Dolphins is our favorite, yeah.
Yeah. So I got Patriots. I got that as the lock. To be honest.
Really? I don't have it as a lock, but I have that. That's my pick. I got Pats also because Ramon Stevenson, he's a really good running back, dude.
Yeah. Andrew.
Yeah, Patriots.
Patriots. All right.
Yeah. I mean, who is Dolphins still bringing Tyler Huntley out as QB?
Yeah, I think so.
We might get some upsets though. We gotta talk about this when we're done. When Sunday's done.
Yeah.
I want to see if we got everything right.
This next game, it just sounds ugly. Like I don't even know who would even tune into this game. No offense, but Colts and Jags.
I'm not tuning in, but I would like to take Colts and the positive and the points.
Okay, but you got the Jags winning though.
Okay, I'm not gonna. Okay, look, I'm not really that big of a fan of Trevor Lawrence and like Travis Etienne, but bro, Colts in the +3, like I have to take that, man. Jonathan Taylor is him. Oh wait, he's out. He's out for week 5, and Anthony Richardson is downgraded. So yeah, Jags probably do win, unless the backup of Colts. Who's the backup on Colts?
Oh, Joe Flacco, man. Joe Flacco came in last weekend.
Yeah, Joe Flacco. How would you take Trevor Lawrence over Joe Flacco?
Yeah, Joe Flacco can still play, man. He can play.
I don't know. Do you guys want to take Colts on that? I'm like, it's iffy on for me.
Okay,
Jonathan Taylor is out. It says he's out. So
he's out. Okay, I'll take because well, let's look at Joe Flacco's stats last week because I know he played last week.
yeah, he came in for Anthony Richardson.
He did pretty good.
I think he did. I'm trying to pull it up. He went 16 for 26, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, give me the Colts.
Yeah, I'm taking the Colts. I'm taking the Colts as well.
You think it's a lock?
No, I don't think it's a lock. No, but
that game's ugly. That game's an ugly game.
But like you said, I don't trust Trevor Lawrence at all.
See, they're 0-4 this season.
That's why.
He even said it himself in an interview and on a post I saw on like Instagram. He literally said he like doesn't even care and like that his team's basically shit.
Who said that?
Like Trevor Lawrence, bro, he already knows that his season's like already crumbling, dude. He knows it himself that like his team's garbage. His offensive line is terrible. Their defense is poop.
Yeah.
Like they don't really have a passing game. Like they don't really have a running game. Like special teams doesn't matter. Like home field advantage doesn't matter. So I'm taking Colts all day.
Yeah. All right. So far we haven't disagreed on anything. These next two though, we might. These are pretty good games. Bills and Texans at Houston.
Yeah.
That's tough.
You guys can go for. Do you guys want me to choose my pick first, or?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay, so I'm taking C.J. Stroud over Allen.
It's not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. I'm still debating on this game. I was looking at it on my list, and I'm like, man, I don't even know.
He can go.
I would say Texans if they had Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's going to be out again. And just what Baltimore did running the ball against that Bills defense, I thought Joe Mixon could not do what Derrick Henry did, but almost kind of similar. But since he's going to be out, I think even Cam Akers, their backup running back, is going to be out. Damian Pierce is supposed to be back in, but he hasn't played all season. So their run game is going to be a little struggle, and I think Texans is. But I think I'm still going to go with Texans because I think Stephon Diggs is going to have a breakout game against his old team.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. People are they're wanting Bills, bro. But
Yeah.
I think the Bills are a better team, and not by a lot though. They're not. I'm not saying the Texans are good. They are good, but the Bills,
Texans are good.
man, that's tough.
It's
You
a
know
tough
what?
one.
I'll disagree with both of you on this one. I'll take the Bills.
Okay. That's cool. Like I said, I only picked the Texans because I root for them. I live in Houston, so I'm gonna, even though I'm a Packers fan, I think CJ is a dog. I think, like I said, I think Stephon's gonna go off this game, just because the Texans are not gonna have their run game like they normally would, since Joe Mixon's out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, CJ Stroud, he averages passing yards a game, like over 250.
Well, last year I'm pretty sure he did. This year, I don't know. Is he up to the hype this year? Like let me see.
Okay, so against the Jaguars, so September 8th against the Colts, 234. Against the Bears on the 15th, he threw for 261 tutties. Against the Vikings, 215. But against the September 29th against the Jags, 345 passing yards with 2 tutties, 110 rating, dude. Hella good, man. 67 completion rate, though.
So, but okay, let's compare those numbers to Josh Allen though. Is he having a better season than Josh Allen?
no,
Yeah, I don't think he is either.
no, wait, no, see, no, Josh Allen. It's about one. Okay, so I'm looking at regular season stats. We're gonna go by yards. Josh Allen has only 814 yards, passing yards.
Okay.
CJ has 1054.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely favors CJ Stroud. What's their touchdown to interception?
Touchdown. Josh Allen has 7. CJ has 6.
What about interceptions?
CJ has 2. Josh has 0. Which that doesn't seem right, but okay.
Yeah, it was.
Josh Allen's QBR is 82.4. He's first in the league in that. So
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills. I'm taking the
Yeah,
Bills.
I guess that's not a hot take, taking the Bills. It's really not.
I mean, this is a coin flip game. Like pick one.
If there was one that we were going to disagree on, I thought it would be this one. So
Yeah, I'm going Texans. Like I said, I'm just gonna go with CJ Stroud. Like I said, I'm putting it in now. Stephon's gonna have a game. He's gonna have a game.
I mean, we got to admit the Bills just got embarrassed on prime time, so they're going to come out. They're going to want to win, and especially they're not going to want Diggs to go off. So I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
So just take Bills in the points. I don't know. For betting aspects, like,
how many points is Vegas giving them?
well, on my Bovada website, I can take plus 3.5, so Bills can lose by a field goal. But if they lose by, that's why.
ESPN has them minus a 1.5.
Bill, what does Vegas have on Andrew?
Or on the ESPN app.
Yeah, you could go off the ESPN if you want, but I'm going off of an online casino.
Yeah, that one has a better odds because this one has it Texans minus 1.5.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much a coin flip, man.
You can do alternate lines.
Yeah. But I like to look on MGM Graham because that's going to give you the odds what they think and
yeah.
I mean, even though you could change the odds, it changes the. Even though you could change the spread, it changes the odds though. So if you
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes.
all right. So all right, let's move on. Ravens and Bengals at Cincinnati. Ooh.
I'm gonna go Ravens.
What's up?
I like Lamar. I don't like Joe B. I don't like Joe Burrow that much. I like Lamar better.
I'm taking the Ravens because the Bengals do not have a good defense, and I see.
Touchdown score.
Yeah, I think that's a good bet.
I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, I think. What's the odds on that? What are they giving you for an anytime touchdown for Derrick Henry?
I'm about to go see it right now. Hold on.
Andrew, who you got?
Baltimore for sure.
Yeah,
The Bengals aren't going to be it this year, unfortunately.
I don't think their defense helps them at all either.
Yeah, no.
Have time to I'm not trying to glaze them or anything. They have time to revamp. The season just started.
Yeah, they
We're
do.
not even halfway through yet.
And I mean, last time we talked about it, we talked about when Cincinnati still hadn't won a game. We talked about which team that hasn't won a game can turn it around. My pick was Cincinnati. So I mean, I still believe in them. It's just that, man, you watch that defense and it's like I can't stop nobody, man.
It's poop.
Yeah.
Worse than Seattle's defense backup or what?
Like against the Panthers, they gave up 24 points. Against the Commanders, they gave up 38. Against the Chiefs, they gave up 20. They gave up 26. In week 1, they only gave up 16, but they only scored 10 points. So
allowing 20 points is I don't know, kind of average for Seattle, but that's just for Seattle's sake.
yeah, I think if you can average less than 20 points, I think that's a very good defense. If Seattle's at 20, that's pretty good. The only thing about that is you're kind of asking Geno Smith to score more than 20 points every game, which I mean,
I think he can, bro.
I think he can too.
Receiving core.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry anytime touchdown score is negative 200, so you have to put 200 on a straight to make 100 on that.
Yeah. They know that's a good bet too. That's why.
They know.
Yeah. Dang, another game that's Raiders and Broncos at Denver.
Hold up. Okay, so I know who I want on this one.
I think
I don't trust Antonio Pierce, man. I think I'm gonna take the Broncos.
I think I want the Broncos too. That Broncos defense is pretty good.
The Raids. I like Minshew.
I just think there's too much drama in Vegas right now, man. Devontae wants out. I mean,
but Bo Nix sucks.
He does, but there's not a lot of tape on him. I think there's a lot of tape on Minshew. They're gonna figure out how to stop Minshew.
And then Pat Surtain is the number 1 corner in the league right now.
Yeah.
Okay, if Broncos defense can stop Minshew to not score 2 or more touchdowns within the first, then yeah, Broncos got it.
I think Devontae's out this game too. That's another reason why I got the Broncos. I think he's out. I could be wrong on that.
How much do you think Broncos win by?
No. Check this out. So Adams is out and Crosby is questionable.
Yeah. See, that was another. Is Max Crosby gonna play? Because if he's out, then yeah.
Yeah. If Adams and Crosby are out, dude, there's no way Denver's losing.
Under 35 points in that Denver game. What do you think? Under.
That's a good one. I mean, under 35 points. I mean, Denver ain't scoring. I don't think Raiders are scoring that much.
Those offenses are not very good.
Yeah, the only way that goes over is if Bo Nix has a good game.
That's true. But anyways, yeah, I don't know, man.
I would be honest. I think that one's so tough that I probably wouldn't bet that. Because I think it could go both ways. But hold on. So me and Andrew got Bronx. You got Raiders?
Well, are you writing it down or something?
No, I'm not writing it down.
I guess I'll take Raiders. But you guys are trying to pull me towards Broncos, so it's fuck.
Well, okay. Let me ask you this: why do you got the Raiders?
It's not because they're better on paper, bro. I guess I'm just taking them because I feel like Minshew's a better quarterback. But you're saying there's a lot of drama in Vegas, so it's making me lean more towards Denver. I hate Denver though. After Russell went there and shit the bed and shit, because I was a Russell fan when he was in Seattle.
Yeah.
So it's why would I like a team that someone our QB left to go over there, bro? Fuck him, dude. Fuck him and the Broncos. Like, fuck the Steelers for fucking wanting a QB that shouldn't even be on the team. Justin Fields is way better, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I don't even know if Russell plays it down in Pittsburgh because
He's an injury. Well, they're saying that he might come back instead of Justin, but maybe not. It just depends because I think Russell's injured right now, but they'll still put him on the practice field every now and then. But I'll take Broncos. If you guys lose me this parlay, bro, I'm cooked. I added them on there. So Broncos have to win, dude.
Cardinals, 49ers, in San Fran.
I got the 49ers.
I'll take the Niners as well.
I would take the Niners, bro, because Kyler's not very good. But 49ers are like, you know, they're iffy, but they are at home.
Yeah.
They have a lot of a lot of injuries right now.
I don't think CMC's coming back at all, right?
Yeah, dude, and like Jordan Mason's, he's really good. Jordan Mason's really good for a backup.
I mean, Debo's back. I think the Niners are going to start coming back.
He sucks, dude. Look at his stats this season. He's poop.
Yeah, the Niners looked very good in 2 games, and they looked very bad. Well, they didn't look bad against the Rams. They just couldn't close against the Rams, and they came back.
Oh, you say 49ers is a lock? Is that like
a lock? No, because I do think Kyler is going to move the ball on the Niners, and Marvin Harrison is having a good year so far. I wouldn't call it a lock, but I do have the Niners winning this game, though.
Vegas has, or the odd makers have Broncos, or not Broncos, sorry, the 49ers winning by a touchdown. I was looking at the wrong game, my fault.
That's a lot. What, plus 6.5?
No, -7.
Or -7. Yeah, that's what I meant. Okay.
-115.
That's a lot of points, man.
I don't know how I feel about taking that spread, but one of the spreads has to hit. It's one or the other. That's how it always is.
And it's the reason why I say it's too many points is it's a divisional game. Like, I think me and Andrew, we were talking about the Giants and Cowboys. I think they had the Cowboys at -6.5, and I told them that's too much, man. And then sure enough, they only won by 5. Division games are always competitive. Like, I don't think San Fran's gonna blow them out. Like, I don't think they will.
That's what I would want to happen, though. If I have 49ers on a part, like, you know, I'm gonna want 49ers to just smack their cheeks.
Yeah, because the only I'm looking at the Niners schedule. The only divisional game they've played so far was against the Rams, and it was a close game. So
yeah, I don't know, man.
But money line, we got Niners, right? Everyone.
Yep.
Giants, Seahawks. I'll take Seahawks.
Seattle, yeah, Seattle's no brainer.
Seattle, because I live over here.
Yeah, I think y'all got this.
Is Malik coming back? Because didn't he get hurt?
Oh yeah, what's up with that?
He last time I checked, he was doubtful.
Yeah, so they're not gonna have their best receiver out there.
But that's not good.
Even if he did, I still got Seattle.
Yeah, me too. But I was just saying that's even more reason to pick.
That is a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
All right. Packers, Rams. I got the Pack.
I got the Packers.
You said Packers too, right?
Let's look. So we're on what's the game again?
Packers, Rams.
Yeah, the only reason I want Packers, bro, is because I used to have Jordan Love on my fantasy, but then I dropped him when he got hurt, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they had to put in fucking, what's his name? He's fucking garbage, dog. Malik, fucking, what's his name?
Malik Willis.
Yeah, that guy, bro. He's fucking terrible, dog. Like, I'd rather take Sam Howell over him. And Sam Howell's
He's 2-0, bro. He's 2-0.
Who?
Malik Willis.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he turned shit around for Green Bay. But I thought Jordan Love came back, though.
No,
last week was his first week back, but
he lost to the Eagles week 1, and then he lost last week to the Vikings. And Malik
won his 2 games that he started for the Packers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do have a point there, man. I mean, shit. I'm not a big fan of,
Yeah.
Willis, I guess.
I think what benefits the Packers in this game, the Rams have way too many injuries, way too much.
So then, yeah, give me the Packs. Who's injured on the Rams too?
Like all of the receivers, all of their
Puka Nacua. I think they have some offensive line that has barely started to get back, so they might be a little rusty. Like their offensive line has not looked good for Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. And I just want to see how many points that Rams defense has been giving up. So the Rams defense gave up 26 points in week 1, 41 points in week 2, 27 points in week 3, and 24 points against last week against the Bears. So their defense is not stopping.
21 points.
Yeah. Give me the Pack.
Yeah.
All right. Sunday Night Football. We got 2 more. Sunday Night Football. Cowboys and Steelers. That's tough, man. But I'm gonna roll with the Steelers.
Ooh, man. Is Micah coming? Is Micah back?
No, he's out.
He's out.
He's out.
Oh man, Brandon Cooks is out too. I heard he got hurt, or he's injured from a surgery. Low scoring game. It's gonna be a low scoring game.
See, I got a little stat here. It says Dak Prescott and Cowboys enter depleted versus Steelers. Another offensive star on the IR. I don't know. Is that the Cooks one?
Yeah, because I think he stayed in New York to get a surgery, and then he got an infection after the surgery.
Let's see. Who do you got, Justin? Cowboys or Steelers?
Oh shit, my bad. Cowboys or Steelers? Okay, I mean, like I said, bro, I have Justin Fields on my fantasy, so I need Steelers to get hella touchdowns within the first half, so that I win my week. Because Justin Fields averages over 40 points on fantasy, bro. Full PPR, bro. He's fucking him, dude. I hate people who talk shit about Justin Fields, dude.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think I got the Cowboys. I'll go with the Cowboys.
Ooh, dude, even with Cooks and Parsons out.
Yeah, I'll go to Cowboys. I'll go Cowboys.
Games, if that. I'm the stats right now. I'll do it.
I don't know, man. That's tough. That's tough.
Cowboys defense, bro. Are they even doing anything this year?
Let's see. They gave up 28 to the Ravens, 44 to the Saints, 17 to the Browns, 15 to the Giants. So they look good for 2 weeks, look bad for 2 weeks.
I guess Dak did really good against the Ravens. 379 yards for 2 tutties, but his completion rate was 54. And then against the Saints, he threw 2 interceptions and 1 tutty. So, but that's Saints defense, I guess.
I want to see something.
Cowboys are not very good this year.
Dude, the Cowboys can't. I've looked at 2 of their games so far. They can't stop the run.
Yeah.
Did you watch highlights?
Well, they did.
Give me some good insights.
They did good against the Giants stopping the run, but that's the Giants.
That's the Giants, yeah.
And then they did okay against the Browns too. So it's another 2 games look good, 2 games
But
look
the 2 games that they did good against or teams that are not that good.
Yeah.
The 2 teams that are good, they couldn't stop. So
yeah. So okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Cowboys.
I'll take Steelers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're taking Justin Fields. I would put money down on Steelers.
Monday Night Football.
I can actually see Fields running all over that defense. If I'm being honest with you, I don't think that's what he's gonna try to do. But if it comes down to it, I think that's what he's gonna do. And I think the Steelers D will get to Dak. I do believe that. I'll be shocked if they don't. But all right, last one: Chiefs and Saints. I'll go ahead and go first. I got the Chiefs.
I want Derek Carr. I'm a Kamara fan, man. Saints all the way, baby. Underdog season. Let's get it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I hate picking against the Chiefs, but I think I'm gonna go Saints.
Damn, y'all both riding the Saints.
I think I'm gonna go Saints, and the only reason is
I know
they just lost Rice.
Yeah, that's the only reason. I was like, who else are they throwing to right now?
Yeah, that's true.
But again, it's Patrick Mahomes, so he can throw to make anybody look.
Okay.
But I'm going Saints, but I like I said, don't hold me to that because the Chiefs can damn near blow out the Saints. But
Okay. All right, man. Well, we're gonna go ahead and end this with some Packers talk. Was there anything else you wanted to say before we move on, man?
I'm fine with like moving on. Like you're the host, so whatever you need to talk about, I'm down to talk. So.
Okay. No, man. I think we're not gonna bring any more people up for the rest of the chat. We'll probably come back on after the Packers game on Sunday, but I think me and Andrew we're just gonna touch on some Packer drama right now. But I just wanted to give you one last chance to say anything before we let you go, man.
Hey, go Pack, go against the Rams, yo! Fuck the Rams, dog.
Yeah, I can see you saying that as a Seattle fan. But all right, man. Thanks for coming up, man.
Yes, sir. Let's do some more lives, though.
Yeah.
In the future.
All right, brother.
All right, later, David.
okay.
All right. So yeah, I know. Kind of wanted to speed this up. So, like I said, I just got the notification about Dobbs. Said that they gave him a 1-game suspension because of detrimental conduct.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, man?
So when I saw that he was initially on the injury report, I was like, "What happened to Dobbs? What happened to get hurt?" And then I heard the reports that he's been frustrated that he hasn't been getting the ball. I'm like, bro, you got to think about it. 2 weeks you didn't have Jordan Love, so you had like a mixed game plan. So you knew we weren't going to throw the ball a lot. Jordan Love comes back, and I don't know. Like this, I don't know what his issue is right now, because this would have been the week that I think he would have got more touches, especially with Christian Watson out. So I don't know, man. I don't know where this is coming from, especially from somebody like Dobbs, who seems like he's like the more quiet type or whatever, or doesn't really say too much. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at a tweet from Ian Rappaport. He says, but after a frustrating week, there's an expectation that things have moved in a positive direction, and he will rejoin the team next week. So I don't know. I don't like this from a young receiver already. I'm a big Romeo fan too.
I was kind of touching on Cheesehead TV and what he had to say about it. One thing he touched on, he's like, at the end of the day, we don't know these people. Like, we don't know who they truly are off the field. All we see is Romeo as a quiet dude, but at the end of the day, we don't really know. Another thing that shocked me was, yes, the whole Malik Willis thing. Of course, you're not going to get that many touches, but he was saying that he didn't like his role. Well, my first initial thought was he didn't like that he wasn't getting enough passes. But if you look at everyone's targets, he ranks third. I think Wicks and Reed both have 22 targets. He has 20. What are you not happy about, man? Like, I mean, you're really just 2 off Reed. I mean, and then 20 divided by 4, that's 5 targets a game. Like, that's something. Like, it's something. Even with Malik Willis in there, like, that actually makes it look better. So I was like, what's really going on? And supposedly the Packers, they go over the game plan on how they're going to attack the Rams on Wednesday. And then he skipped Thursday and Friday. So I don't know if he didn't like the game plan or what, but yeah, it was very shocking, because I told you at the beginning of the year, I thought this was a year that Dobbs was going to go off. I really did. And I don't know. I don't know why that's not happening. I don't know why he's mad. Or I guess we do know why he's mad, but it just doesn't make sense to me fully. Yeah. And it's very hard for me to say, oh, Dobbs, come on, you shouldn't be acting like that, because we don't know what's going on. Like, we don't know.
No, for sure.
There's probably some truth that he doesn't like what's going on, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Like, something that's like, for Dobbs to do something so unprofessional as far as like, hey, I'm going to skip practice, to the fact where the Packers were concerned and they go to his house just to see him chilling. Like, yeah, I skipped practice. Like, dude, what happened, bro? Like, what happened? What? I mean, come on, players just don't do that. Like, something happened.
Yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, it's got to be more deeper than just not getting the targets. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. And like I said, I'm a big Romeo Dobbs fan.
Yeah, so am I.
Big Romeo Dobbs fan, and so I hope whatever Ian's reporting that they've moved on in a positive direction and everything's going to go fine. But I know it's a few years down the road. But at what point do we say which receiver? Because we're going to have to pay one of these receivers, 1 to 2 of these receivers. So the other 2 to 3 are going to leave. So do you think Romeo's going to be the first one not to get paid that has to leave?
No, I think Watson's going to be the first one.
First one to go? Because at this point in their careers, it looks like Jaden Reed's going to be the one
that gets paid. Yeah,
right?
I also think I see the Packers paying Kraft. I think we do need a tight end. I think we need a good physical tight end. I don't know if he's going to get big money, but I definitely think they do want to keep Kraft. I could see Musgrave moving on.
I know we're talking way in advance because this is like
and like Watson. I'll be honest. I think trading him is not a bad idea. Now, I like Watson. I'm not saying that I want him to get traded. That's not true. But the thing with Watson, he has a lot of perks. Like, he has the most touchdowns in his class, and he's been injured half of his career.
Yeah.
Like, that's impressive. Like, that is very impressive that the guy can score, man. It's just now his injury against the Vikings, I blame that more on Love. Like, he tried to fit that in the super tight spot. And like, I mean, yeah, a lot of people would have got injured in that situation. But like last year against the Chiefs, Watson had a non-contact injury, right? On his hamstring when he fell down against the Chiefs. I mean, it's just,
the majority of his injuries has been muscle type injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I mean, Watson, like I think Watson, he's always that receiver that we say he can just go off at any second, right? But more times than not, it doesn't happen. But I still like having him out there. But like at the end of the day, the Packers are gonna pay someone that can stay healthy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I see it too. Reed can stay healthy, and he's a stud, dude. He's a stud. And then, like I said, I think you got to keep a tight end also, unless you want to go draft one.
I think they're gonna keep Wicks, pay Wicks too.
Well, Wicks will tell the Packers what to do with him in these upcoming weeks, especially this week with Dobbs and Watson out. Yeah, Wicks
so they made a good point. I don't remember who I was watching. And I was like, they made a good point. Somebody said Wicks reminds them a lot of Davante Adams. He has the skills to get, like, if you watch him, go back and watch him. His off-ball skills to get off of the line is incredible. I'm not gonna say Davante.
He's ranked in the league. Wicks is ranked number 1 in the lead as far as getting off the line and getting open. Wicks is number 1.
So his getting off the line is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But they were saying this last year about it. I didn't realize that they were saying this about him last year, that he's almost Davante-esque. And they brought up the point that it's kind of funny that they say that, because if you remember Davante's second year, Davante couldn't catch anything, and now Wicks can't catch anything. So it's like almost he's following literally in Davante's footsteps. Not going to say Wicks is going to be Davante, but it's just kind of funny how that parallel goes around. But yes, I agree. This is going to be the Wicks game, I believe.
I think it has to, especially if you want to pay him. You got to start playing him more.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. I would like to see Melton out there too. I think Melton can play.
He's going to be out. I think he's going to be out there a lot more.
He's going to have to.
Yeah. He's going to be out there a lot more. But I also think we run the. I say that, but you would think we would run the ball a lot last week. I was
Jacobs doesn't have 15 carries this game. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild.
Yeah, he's going to have to step it up. Well, it's not even him calling the plays, but LaFleur.
But like they got to be able to run the ball, because like we talked about last week after the game, it's not like he wasn't averaging good yardage every time we rush the ball.
Yeah. That leads me into the question I wanted to ask you. Is there anything that concerns you about the Packers?
As far as talent and play, no.
Okay.
Maybe in the locker room, like what's going on in there?
Like do you like, I guess what concerns you? We all know the Packers are a good team, but is there anything that concerns you, like, and they might not be Super Bowl contenders right now because of this? Because I think people can argue that they're a good team. I know a lot of people had the Packers in the Super Bowl, but then like when you see like a lot of,
to be honest, it would be the defensive line right now.
uh-huh.
And this is another game, if we don't get pressure with like Rashawn Gary, I know I sent you that clip of them talking about Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary has to show up. Kenny Clark has to show up. If they don't get pressure this game, I'm gonna definitely start to worry about them.
Yeah. I do think that you need a front four to be very good in the playoffs. I think remember the year we went 15-1 and we lost to the Giants?
Yeah.
Well, the Giants got to us with their front four. That's part of the reason why they won that game. They got after Rodgers, and like no one had the Giants winning that game. And there was times where their front four got to Rodgers, and Rodgers had someone wide open. He just needed one more second to get the ball off, but the D line was already there. So I do think having a good D line is beneficial. And yes, that is a concern. But I think there is something that concerns me a little bit more.
What's that?
I started looking because, I started asking myself, are we a Super Bowl contender? Because I don't need to ask, are we a good team? Do we have heart? We don't need to ask those questions. We know we're a good team. We know we have heart. Like those questions don't need answering anymore. But I think what needs answers is, are we a Super Bowl contender? Well, so I started looking at the Chiefs. I'm like, okay, these guys are back to back. They've been Super Bowl contenders ever since Mahomes got there. And I said, the number one thing about the Chiefs that I like that the Packers don't do is they play 4 quarters of football, meaning you have to play good all game long in order to beat the Chiefs. I was looking at all of their losses in the past 2 years. They don't get blown out. They had one game where they lost 24-9 against the Broncos, but after the third quarter, it was 14-9. So it was, and then the Broncos just scored 10 in the fourth quarter. So you do have to play 4 quarters of football to beat the Chiefs. That is my concern. I feel like with the Packers, you don't need to play 4 quarters of good football to beat them. You just got to play 2 quarters of good football. We saw that last year against the Vikings or last week against the Vikings, but we also saw a lot of it last year.
Oh yeah, that's been it. But I think that's been an issue for a while now, though. I feel because there's always a running joke, at least on Packers Twitter, of oh, that was the good half or that was the bad half. Now we're gonna go to our good half. That's always been the running joke. I think that's been an issue for a minute, though, not just these past 2 years. I think it's been. If I were to put a timetable on it, I would say probably the last 4 to 5 years. To be honest with you, I think it's been an issue.
Yeah, I don't really like that because I mean that's not going to work in the playoffs. First of all, even when the Chiefs were down big against the Texans in the playoffs, they still came back and won. It wasn't they came back and still lost by 2. No, they came back and won. So I guess that was a little concerning. But I also think about it. I was like, well, is it because we're young? But then you kind of just threw that out the window. It's been like that for the first 4 or 5 years.
At least in my opinion, it's been 4 or 5 years that we haven't played. It doesn't seem like we play complete games. We'll have spurts of 2.5 good quarters, and that's good enough to win us games.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to me, it's been like that for the past few years, not just ever since Jordan came up. But it's just a glaring difference because we're so young, and it's literally been like last year. We always started off slow, right? Our first half was always bad. We came back in the second half and played really well in the second half. So it's always been a thing, and I guess that is a concerning thing because we're almost mimicking what we now take out the 2 wins with Malik and Jordan getting hurt. We're almost mimicking what we did last year. It seems like.
Yeah. But but Andrew, like, I feel we had more adversity last year than this year so far. I mean, yes, Love went down, but aside from that, there hasn't been a lot of adversity. Last year, you had injuries every week that you had to go through. Like, we were like, if you saw that injury report every week, we had people out all the time. Jair only played like half of the season or less. Like, I feel like the adversity last year was worse than this year so far. I know.
And that's what I'm getting at is like you coming into the season, you would think we would be a lot better, like learn from our mistakes from last year, but it doesn't seem like we have. Like I said, we seem like we're having good halves again. Our receivers are dropping balls. We're not consistently running the ball like we should be. Kind of almost similar to what it was last year.
Yeah.
In the first half of the season last year. So it's like, why are we doing the same mistakes we were doing last year? Like, what's going on?
And I also believe week 4 against the Vikings at home, a Super Bowl contender is not walking in there and getting blown out in the first half. Now, I'm not saying that can never happen to a Super Bowl contending team. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like it doesn't look good, man. It doesn't look good. I'm okay with losing the game, but like people say, oh, don't worry, you only lost by 2. Dude, it was worse than that. Like, if you really think about it, it was worse than that. Like, and I think that's what concerns me a little bit. Like, hey, like if you want to compete and go win a Super Bowl, you got to play for 4 quarters. Like, you can't be playing for 2. You got to play for 4, man. And I mean, like I said, give props to Minnesota. They spanked us in that first half. But I'm saying, like, how do you allow that to happen, right? Like you only allow that to happen because you came into the game unprepared. That is how that happens. I think if you're prepared and you know what you're doing, it doesn't get away from you that fast. And I think that to me is the only concerning thing about the Packers right now. They got to clean that up. They got to play 4-quarter football, not 2-quarter football. But like, and you know, oh, well, Packers fans, like, y'all have everything to cheer about. You know, you're always in the playoffs. Yeah, that's right. But you got to understand, like, for some teams, their goal is to get to the playoffs. Other teams, you know, they're only thinking about that Lombardi trophy. The Packers is one of those teams that is always thinking about the Lombardi trophy, right? The Chiefs are the only team thinking about the Lombardi trophy. Like, I mean, there's teams that, like, if you want to reach a goal, there's some things you got to clean up. Now, I do like the Packers cleaned up their defense in the offseason. I think that was very necessary. But I realized, like, LaFleur, yo, guys, you got to make sure your guys are not getting blown out in the first half because that's too big of a hole to dig, right? It's too big of a hole to dig. And then LaFleur came out, and one of the things he said, well, we're going to find out what we're made of. We already know that from last year. We know this team has heart. That question does not need to be answered, Matt. Like, what the real question should have been, Matt, why are y'all coming up and laying a goose egg in the first half? That's the question that needs to be answered, not if your team has heart. We know they have heart. Like, I just feel like we're sweeping the important questions under the rug. Like, hey, why did y'all not come out to play in the first half? Like, how does Minnesota just walk all over y'all in the first half? I mean, you know, because 2 quarters of football ain't going to get it done. If it was, we would have won on Sunday. But like I said, I personally think, and all football experts out there, they all said the Packers, they're going to be fine. I agree with that. We're going to be fine. But I'm saying when it comes down to the nitty gritty and you need to be clutch, and you need to play smash mouth football, you got to do it for 4 quarters in the playoffs. 2 quarters ain't going to get it done. And I saw a lot of that last year. I'm seeing it this year. And I'm just like, man, like, come on, guys. We got to have a little bit more killer instinct all game long. Then
it's true. It's true. I mean, it is true. But it also goes back down to discipline football too. A lot of those drives in the first half, we killed ourselves with penalties, man. The first drive, we driving down.
Yeah.
Penalty, which brought us back, and then we had to settle for a field goal, which we missed, right? So it it is like, yes, we got to compete all 4 quarters, but they got to stop shooting us. That's the main thing, is they got to stop shooting themselves in the foot.
I would say you could.
I think the 4 quarters will come together. Everything will come together once they stop doing that.
Yeah, I think I think the penalties should be thrown on the concern list too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Did you want to save some more stuff for later on, or did you want to? I did want to touch on the kicker real fast.
We can talk about Narveson.
Okay. So, I want to read you some stats, and then I want to question. Okay, so people are saying there's a kicker issue. You saw that we brought in 2 new kickers. All right. So let me ask you this: with the way things are going right now, if I told you, hey, we're gonna bring in a kicker, he's 20 at the end of the year, he's gonna hit 27 out of 33 field goals for you, and he's going to make 34 out of his 39 extra points. Would you take that kicker?
34 out of 39 extra points. So he missed 5 extra points, and then 27 out of 33 field goals.
If I said, hey, you don't like Narveson, I'll give you this kicker, but this is what's going to be his stats, would you take him?
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know the average kick things. So only missing how many 6 field goals all year?
6 field goals all year. That's a 81.8 field goal percentage.
Sure.
Okay, that was Carlson's number last year. And I was looking at him, Andrew, and I was like, dude, that's not bad. And I was talking to my girl about this, and I was like, you know, what's weird about Carlson is if they really thought he wasn't the answer, they would have got rid of him after the playoffs. But they didn't get rid of him until right before the season, which makes me wonder, did he just come back worse? Because
I just don't think they had options, to be honest with you. That's to be honest with you. Because I think it's going to be like this all. To be honest with you, David, I think it's going to be like this all season, where they bring in some type of kickers to try out, but we don't actually ever sign anybody. It's because they're scraping from the bottom of the barrel type thing, and it's like, yeah, like I said, the only thing was that the extra point one. So I think what did Carlson in, to be honest with you, missing 5 extra points is kind of crazy.
So let me ask you,
the field goal wasn't as bad as what it would seem. I think it was just missing the 5 extra points.
Well, I want to get a little bit deeper into it too, because Carlson had the exact opposite season that Jordan Love had. What I mean by that is Jordan Love didn't do good the first half, but he lit it up the second half. Yeah. Carlson was
okay at the beginning of the season. Yeah.
But then the second half is when he fell off. So I was like, well, let's say J Love had Carlson's year. Let's say J Love started out hot and ended bad. Do you still think the Packers give him $55 million?
No.
I don't think so either. So going back to Carlson, you gotta defend him on that too. Like he did good for half of the season. It's just that he ended bad. So what I'm learning from this is they care about how you end the season, not so much how you start. But now here's another concern as like, man, did we let the wrong kicker go? Because Narveson is already 9 for 13. So last year, Carlson only missed 6 field goals. Narveson's already missed 4, Andrew.
Yeah.
He's already missed 4. He's 2 more from tying Carlson already. So I'm just like, man, I think Carlson deserves another chance. But I will say this too. I say that, but then I realize he's not getting signed anywhere. So, man, what happened? Like, what happened? If other teams are not signing you, maybe it was the right choice to let him go. But
it definitely was the right choice to let him go. I just, at the moment, I think they're scraping bottom of the barrel kickers. That's why we're struggling. I was reading something. We have next. I know we're talking about this year and we need to win this year, this type of stuff. But I think, who was saying it? somebody was saying, I think at the end of the next year, there's some free agent kickers that come available. Like Joey Sly, I think is available. Eddie Pinero is available. Both really good kickers. That if the Packers are serious about fixing their special teams, maybe we do spend money to go get a free agent kicker. I know it's kind of crazy to say, but
Yeah.
at this point, I think we're stuck with Narvison unless somebody comes off of somebody's practice squad that just lights it up, and then we give him a chance, and then he does well. That's the only way I can see it. But if like the two kickers, I can't even tell you the names that we brought in, the two kickers off the top of my head, and I know they probably didn't do well or good enough because we didn't sign them, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this whole Narvison thing, we just gotta hope and pray that he gets better.
Let me ask you this, because another thing, because like I said, I kind of compared Carlson to Narvison, but I was like, man, let me dig a little bit deeper. Dude, Greg Joseph went 5 for 5 with the Giants, and he hit a 50-yarder as well. So I'm just like, why you let him go? Like what did you not like in Joseph? Like, I was shocked that they got rid of Joseph. I told you, I thought Joseph was going to take Carlson's spot. I really did.
I thought so too. I thought so too. I thought once they brought Greg Joseph in, I was like, oh, this is Joseph's job. They're just keeping Carlson along throughout the season or preseason. And once they released Carlson, because they released Carlson first, right? Or they announced Carlson.
They let them both go at the same time, man. They say, hey, we moving on.
But I thought I had saw they released Carlson. I was like, okay, they're keeping Joseph, and then I got a report that they let go of Joseph. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it got reported.
Maybe, but I think they got.
Well, they probably did it at the same time.
Yeah,
but
it was the same day for sure.
Yeah, because I was like, because I saw the report. I was like, okay, we're keeping Joseph, and then maybe an hour later, I saw Greg Joseph was released. Packers signed Narvison or whoever the fuck his name is. But yeah, I was like, oh, okay. And then when I heard, oh, he was kicking good for Tennessee this preseason and stuff, I was like, oh, okay, good. But now we're missing 4 field goals, and he hasn't missed an extra point though, right?
No.
So yeah, and I guess that's the low standard that we have right now. It's like at least he hasn't missed an extra point.
Yeah, but
which is crazy.
You know, because I after the Vikings game is when I looked this up. I was like, man, I want to go see if Carlson was really worse than Narvison. And then I'm looking at the stats and I'm like, dude, it looks like Narvison was worse than Carlson so far. But like I said, Narvison might have a Carlson season where he's bad for one half and then the other half he's good, because that's what Carlson was. Good for one half, bad for the other. Yeah. But the one thing I do like about Narvison compared to Carlson, Narvison took full responsibility after the game. He's like, I got to be better. I never saw that from Carlson. That is one thing I like from Narvison. He is taking responsibility. And like you said, we just got to hope he gets better. I'm rooting for the kid. I'm rooting for the kid. Part of the reason why Gutekunst brought him in is because he scouted him and saw that this guy could make 59-yarders in preseason. I was told that's part of the reason why they brought him in. But at the same time, you gotta
make those field goals, man. You gotta make them.
You can't be missing 4 right now after week 4. Like, you can't. Yeah. And let's be honest, he should have missed 5, but he got saved by a flag on 1. So that is very concerning, because Andrew, that's already 12-4. Yeah, that's 12 points right there. So yeah, definitely got to clean that up. But yeah, I just wanted to bring up the Carlson, but like before I brought him up, I wanted to ask you if you would take that kicker.
That's just us having low standards at this point. Like I said, if you ask somebody else that has a good kicker, they might like, no, I don't want that guy. He's missing. He only makes 80% of his things. We have kickers that make 90%. Like I said, I don't know what the league average is, but yeah.
But all right. We've been on for an hour and 19. I can go to 1:30 if you want. If you want to bring on another guest, but I think I'm good with the whole recap, game picks, and Packers.
Yeah, we're good. I'm good. We can, like I said, we can recap tomorrow after the game.
Okay. Do you want to cut off now?
Yeah, it's good. I'm good.
Okay.
I said everything I needed to say.
All right, then. Yeah, we'll go.
Do you have any chats, the comments that you wanted to touch on or not?
Do what?
Did you have any comments on there that you wanted to hit on or not?
Yeah. So on, can you see the YouTube comments on your side?
Nah.
Okay. Someone said, Someone said, "Did you guys cry when Brewers lost?" I put "Go Yanks." He said, "I guess Andrew cried extra hard." I was like, "He's an Astros fan."
Yeah, I live in Houston, so I'm an Astros fan. So I did cry because the Astros got swept by the Tigers. But yes.
Yeah, and then another person put "Go Pack Go for Life." I just saw that one right now.
Okay.
They just commented a minute and a half. Go Pack Go. And then on TikTok, there was some earlier in the live, not some lately. Just a lot of people asking like Ravens or Bengals, like game picks. We already made game picks, guys. I'm not going to go over that again. Zach. I think Zach has came up before. He said, I think putting Love in was a last minute choice and an attempt to throw off the Vikes, but it hit us. I think he touched on that with us on the.
He was the one that joined in last week.
Yeah.
Before the Vikings game.
Well, no, he was the one that joined in with us
before the Vikings game.
Before the Vikings game, yeah. So we have two guests that want to come up. Do you want to bring them up, or do you want to cut it off?
We can bring them up, make them real quick.
Yeah, make them real quick. To be honest, they might not even still be on the live, but we're about to find out. Yeah, I don't think they're on anymore. Yeah, if they're not on, we can cut it out. Yeah, it looks like they got off. All right, man. So yeah. You definitely go real quick. Recap tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna recap tomorrow after the game.
Yeah, so I'll probably be back on, I guess 7:30 Eastern time around the end of the game.
Yeah. Right after the game, and then right before Sunday Night Football.
Yeah. Hold on. All right. So Callie Packer says, "Let's talk." I'm using onesie like. To be honest, Callie Packer, I don't know how to bring you on via YouTube, but if you go to my TikTok, I also go live there. If you want to like join as a guest where we can hear you, TikTok is David Anthony Lugo. That's Lugo. We can bring you up there. On YouTube, I'm not sure how to bring you up, but you're more than welcome to post comments and I can reply on YouTube. But all right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and we'll be back on tomorrow after the game. See you guys.